I try my best to balance out all the different industries that I work in. Actively work across 6 to 7 industries. When you work with siblings, there's always going to be a lot of fights, a lot of quarrels. I'm super excited about that because I've never sung for Vijay Sethupathi Garu ever. And he's a huge star in the Tamil industry, and this is my first song for him. The film industry, the music industry, all of us are a big family online, and I feel like we lost a member from our family. It's truly heartbreaking to see, someone just pass away, in like it's so unexpected. Breaking into a global scenario is not easy, but it's not impossible.
Hi Armaan, I'm officially introducing myself. I am a senior journalist at Bollywood Hungama. Welcome to Bollywood Hungama.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. First and foremost, how are you doing? How are things going for you?
I'm good. I mean, as good as we all can be. It's tough times for everyone. We're getting back to work, but it's not how we've all expected it to be. But it's going good. At least for me, I've been able to release quite a bunch of songs in the last few months, and more are releasing in the coming few months. So yeah. I feel blessed and grateful that I'm getting to do what I always wanted to do, put out more songs. But I'm itching to go back on stage. That's something that I'm really missing right now, concerts. So yeah, I hope the situation gets better and we can start touring again.
One of the things that this year has been is like music has been a big boon in a way for people to just stay at home and relax, I guess. There's a silver lining that this is probably the most helpful thing that's happened is like music releases in a way. So who are some of the artists that you listen to for your comfort? Maybe when you're not making your own music?
There are many artists that I listen to. I don't restrict myself to just one genre of music. I listen to stuff from pop to R&B to K-pop even. So I mean, my favorite artists to listen to would be Charlie Puth, Love, Khalid, and EXO. I think these are my top four choices. And obviously there is in like female singers, I love Dua Lipa, I love Anne Marie. These are some of the artists that I keep listening to on a daily basis.
It's a big year for you. You've released multiple songs, but you've released in multiple languages. The most diverse catalog that you have this year has been, it's Tamil song, it's an English song, it's a Hindi song. What are some of the challenges that you face this year in making music? Because it looks like it's very easy for you to dive into anything, but I am sure it's not that easy for you to make music so much.
Honestly, I try my best to balance out all the different industries that I work in. I actively work across 6 to 7 industries that include a few of the South industries. There's the Bollywood industry, and within Hindi, we have like film and non-film as well. And there's obviously my English pop stuff that I've been putting out. And apart from the solo songs, there's also collaborations that I'm working on. So there is a bunch of stuff on my plate. It is definitely very, very taxing on me as an artist to kind of give all my attention to all these different angles that I have as an artist, and yet maintain them successfully and make sure that I don't disappoint any fans in any genre or language. So yeah, I mean, it's a constant struggle, but it's a good problem to have. I mean, I feel like very, very rarely do you get to sing in so many different languages and let it coexist at the same time. The challenge that I face is that how do I come across to someone, because I'm doing so many different things together. For a new person, when they look at my Instagram or they look at my profile, they'll probably just be baffled with the kind of content there is. There's Telugu, there's English, there's Hindi. So what I feel is that when a new person comes into discovering Armaan Malik, how do they discover Armaan Malik? Is it via English songs? Is it via Hindi songs? Or are they listening to all songs irrespective of which language they're in? So that, I think, is a challenge because you can, through interviews, let people know who you are and what you do, but ultimately it's through the songs and through the music where fans actually get to know you, as an artist.
Yeah.
And I'm just, because I'm in so many different industries, I just want to make sure, I can't make sure because there's so many 100 million listeners that are listening to me all the time. Like, how are they reacting to it, and how are they discovering my new songs and me as an artist? So that's a challenge for me, to make sure that, even though I'm doing different things, there is this one element that is constant throughout, and that's the one element that is portrayed to all the different listeners that listen to me. But obviously it's going to be a challenge all throughout my career.
Right. One of the recent releases that you've had is with Bhoot Police, Mujhe Pyar Pyar Hai. Tell us something about the song, and I know I've seen the music video. It looks very romantic and everything, but it's something you in the last, like, it's so less that you're not doing too many romance songs right now. So it's like one of those rare things that we've witnessed in a while. So, like, tell us something about it.
Well, I've people know me for my romantic songs in Bollywood,
Yeah.
and I've I had taken a departure from doing a lot of those in the last 2 years. I've been doing a lot of my English pop content. I've been doing, not that I'm not doing romantic songs, but they're different songs. They're not the quintessential Bollywood romantic tracks that you come across. Basically, Mujhe Pyar Pyar Hai is a quintessential Bollywood romantic song, and all Armaan Malik fans would identify with the song, because this is the kind of genre that I've always, kind of like sung in Bollywood and known for in Bollywood. So it feels like a homecoming of sorts. I'm coming back to the genre that people know me for. So I'm glad that Mujhe Pyar Pyar is out there and it's doing so well. It's got almost 20 million. It's crossed 20 million views on YouTube, and it's trending on Instagram Reels as well. So, I mean, the love is just pouring in. So I'm glad that I could put out a song like that after a very long time.
Right. And just before that, you had released Bell Bottom song Tum Aoge, and I think that also was doing so well. So it's like you back to back have had two hits.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've put out Bollywood songs, and I mean, it also depended a lot on films restarting, because of COVID, there were a lot of delays. So a lot of films are now starting to release, and whether on OTT or in theaters. I mean, Bell Bottom was the first one to release in theaters. So I'm glad that Bollywood music is coming back again, and my songs have been coming back to back, and everyone's been loving it. And Tum Aoge and Mujhe Pyar Pyar Hai are both very, very different from each other. Tum Aoge has got a little bit of the patriotic tinge to it. It's also, I've sung it very, very differently. I'm glad that I can offer more and more different things to the listeners who are listening to me. And I feel like in the last 2 years I've gained a lot of listeners through my English pop music and through my other collaborations that I've been doing. So for those listeners to kind of get a peek into my world of Bollywood, which they probably have never heard of. So I think that is something that I'm really excited about.
Over the years, I think you've been doing music since I think forever. Is it still fun to work with Amaal?
Of course, it is fun. I mean, honestly, when you work with siblings, there's always going to be a lot of fights, a lot of quarrels. But it's always fun to work with him, because he knows me and I know him like in and out. So we are free with each other. We talk rubbish to each other during recordings. But that's the chemistry kind of that shows in the song, and that's why it kind of like translates as well. And fans love our collaborations together. So yeah, it's definitely fun. It's a little stressful also, but it's fun.
Right, because he's very vocal about things. So it's kind of fun to know that what he's thinking in a way.
Amaal, what is in his heart is on his tongue. So it's as simple as that. And I think very few people are like that in this industry, and it's not easy to be like that, because people in the industry are always like very politically correct, and they don't want to say stuff that might affect their careers and stuff like that. And I don't think Amaal is made that way. He's just the kind of person that, I'm going to be true to myself and to the world, and I don't care what people think, but this is me. And I love that about him. There are very few people like that, and I really respect him for standing up for what is right and what he feels is right.
That's also something I've observed in you as well, because over the years I've seen that you were very vocal. With you guys are not into. You've cultivated a fan culture where you interact with so much with your fans, but you're
Yeah.
very honest with them as well. Okay, this might not work. I'm not doing well mentally this time, and I hope you understand that way. And I think that's one of the reasons I think people resonate with you too more, is because the fact that it's so easy for you guys to connect with your fans
Yeah.
continuously,
Yeah.
and I think the support is mutual between you two.
The thing is, my fans and I have a very personal connection.
Yeah.
It's not very impersonal. A lot of celebrities tend to kind of like, just post and then they're done. And, that's about it. The interaction level, obviously, even if it is there, they'll just reply to a few comments and stuff. I know my fans very deeply. They know me very deeply. It's very different here. It's more like, we're all best friends on the internet. And even though I've not met most of them. I mean, some of them I've met on my shows and concerts, but a lot of them I haven't been able to meet. But I just know them online, and we've just become like this big family on Twitter and Instagram. And I share a lot about my life, about what I'm going through. They share a lot of stuff with me, and I talk about it. I mean, for me, it doesn't, a lot of people don't want to get this personal with fans, or don't want to probably bear their heart out, because they feel like, we are celebrities, we shouldn't be that connected or that available to people. And I feel like that's a very different, I don't have that approach. That's not my way of looking at things. I feel like a fan is not just a fan of your music, they're a fan of you as a person. And give them more reason to like you and be connected to you. That's the way I think. And I feel like if someone is connected to you on a human level, then everything else follows. So for me, even if I'm not a successful musician in the future, I don't care about that. As long as I'm, known as a good person, someone who's always there for people, that's more important to me than anything else.
I think I remember meeting you when you were 18, right? First time. And Armaan had just released.
Yeah.
And it's been, what, 7-8 years since that release had happened. And then you've been doing music since your childhood, obviously. But that was something that it was such a, around that time, I think early 2000 was something that people were still releasing singles and albums. But after that, it had just completely died down. And I had not seen that in a while until you came along and you did that.
Yeah.
A lot of independent music was happening, obviously, but that was the first time I had seen someone very young doing that. And I talk like I'm like 50 years older than you, but but then that was something I had seen. And I think since then, that time you just boomed. But there's one thing I've observed, that you've not changed much how you approach music, or how you approach in a way you talk to your fans.
Yeah.
And that is something commendable, because I think over the years, when you get famous and the fame comes to you so much, it kind of gets you. You want to have that kind of privacy, but you still maintain that balance.
I mean, I have the privacy that I need. I mean, obviously, fans sometimes do tend to cross the line, which I think if you just make them understand in a very normal way, that we are human beings. We also deserve a little bit of our own private time or privacy or whatever it is, and we have our own life apart from just being a celebrity or being Armaan Malik or being whatever we are. But I feel like I maintain a balance between both. I make sure that I have a professional and private life balance, and nothing suffers. I mean, even if there is some kind of like where I feel like, okay, this is suffering, I try to balance it out, and that's going to be a lifelong struggle for any celebrity. Honestly, it depends on how you navigate it. For me, I make things in my life very simple. So, which is why I feel like I'm not struggling with keeping that balance. And a lot of people keep asking me, why don't you, share about your relationships or your love or whatever it is. I feel like, not everything needs to be shared on the internet. There are certain things that every individual should keep for themselves, because then you're not living for you, then you're living for the world. There's no sense in that. And as a human being, I feel like 99% of my life is out there on the internet anyway. So there should be something that is sacred to me, that is mine, that no one else has access to. And I think that is very important for every individual to maintain. And that's how I kind of like, balance it out. I'm there. I mean, it's not that, when I'm there, I'm not there. I'm always there for my fans. I'm always there connected to them. But obviously, there's a human side of me. There's a person, Armaan, who's different from Armaan Malik, the entity. And that person's privacy needs to be, respected. So I make sure that is there. And when people don't respect that, I make sure that they understand that you got to respect it, because this is a person. This is not just a celebrity or a image. And then it might be in public perspective, but at the end of the day, I'm a human, and so is Justin Bieber, so is Ariana Grande, so is Lady Gaga. All of them are humans at the end of the day. We're all doing the same thing 24/7. It's just we're different people doing different things, and we are celebrities. We're more famous because we're in the public eye, but that doesn't change the fact that we are humans at the end of the day, and we have emotions, we have feelings, same as you.
And I think personal relationships depends on whether you're comfortable or not, or that's something that you want to do, and when it's the right time, you can share it.
Of course. I mean, honestly, there's a way people go about sharing their life online, and it depends on how you want to navigate it. It's as simple as that. And I feel like if at one point I feel like I want to share that with my fans or with my internet community, I will do that. So it's as simple as that. I keep it very simple. I don't like complicating things. There's too many things in life that are already so complicated. This is something that you got to live life very simply, because then you will enjoy it.
That's true. That's true. Just a day ago, you had a Tamil song release, and it's with Vijay Sethupathi and Taapsee Pannu in it. And it's called.
So the name of the movie is Annabelle Sethupathi.
Annabelle Sethupathi, yes.
The song's name is Vanil Pogum Megham. And it's from a movie called Annabelle Sethupathi, which features Vijay Sethupathi and Taapsee Pannu in the lead roles. So yeah, I'm super excited about that, because I've never sung for Vijay Sethupathi Garu ever, and he's a huge star in the Tamil industry, and this is my first song for him. I've sung for Taapsee's movie before in Badla. There was a song called Kyun Rabba, which I'd sung. So I love doing new stuff. Tamil is a language that I haven't explored much. I have fewer songs in Tamil when compared to Telugu and Kannada and the other languages. But I'm glad that, in the last 2 months, I've had 2 releases in Tamil. So it's opening up as an industry for me as well. And I'm glad that I got to sing it for a longtime friend of mine called Kishore, who has composed. He's a debutant as a composer, and this is his first movie, and I'm glad that I could sing for him. And with Chinmay Shripada, who's also the co-singer with me. I've always wanted to sing with her, and finally it's happened.
That's true. And I was just watching this with Vijay Sethupathi. That's a big name to just like live that moment with him, I guess.
I've not met him. I would love to meet and interact with him. He's a huge star in the Tamil industry, and I've followed his work. I love all the stuff he's been doing, and I'm so glad that and so honored that I've sung the song for his movie.
Okay, since it's been a couple of months and Echo has been doing well for a while, and first and foremost, last year when I saw you and Eric now interacting, and I've been a fan of Eric for the longest time. I was like, wait, what exactly is happening here? And like, I've never seen that happen before. And one of the, I think a month before that, he had asked like one of some of the Indian artists that you listen to, and a lot of people had commented Armaan Malik, and I'm like, at least like amongst the independent music, like, Armaan Malik's name is there, and I thought maybe he must have listened, and that's why they're interacting. Who would have thought that 1 year later there would be a song with Kashmir in it? And I absolutely, it's such a beautiful song, and it's so good, and it's absolutely, it's an earworm after a point. It's like, it's an earworm. Like the hook, and everyone was supporting so much because it was such a cross-cultural collaboration, and I think that's so rare to happen. And it's one of those things that a couple of months later, how are you seeing this versus the first time you all pitched to each other?
I mean, honestly, Echo has broken a lot of boundaries, which I'm really happy that it did. We released it in a very important month, which was the AAPI month, and the world and the US specifically was celebrating Asian artists all across the world. And Eric being from Korea, me being from India, Kashmir being half Indian and half American, the three of us coming together for a collab of that level, I think it was just so exciting for all of us. Everyone on the collab was like, this is massive for everyone involved. And Eric and I have been interacting on Twitter, had been interacting on Twitter much before we spoke of the collab. And obviously, I sent him the song and he loved it. And then we made the collaboration happen. Putting it together took almost 7 to 8 months because it was not an easy task. We were in the pandemic, there were a lot of restrictions. 100 emails were written, probably more than that even, and some Zoom calls here and there, but we made it happen. I think what I would like to highlight about this collaboration is that even though we might be miles apart from each other, we might be disconnected completely, but we can still make something happen together and unify for a project that means a lot to everyone worldwide. And I think a lot of K-pop fans and a lot of Indian fans were waiting for something like this to happen, where an Indian artist and K-pop artist collaborate, and it happened in the form of Echo, and people really love the song. So I mean, it's exciting that you announce a collaboration like this, but then if the song doesn't have enough strength to carry on, then obviously the collaboration is only exciting until the announcement of it. But Echo as a song was very well received. People loved the lyrics, people loved the music. Kashmir did some fabulous production on the song, and at the core of it, the lyrics had some meaning that made sense to a lot of people, that spoke to a lot of people. And I think that is the core of the collaboration. The song, the music is the most important piece of what we did together. And I think to this day, people listen to the song not just because their favorite artists collab together, but they love the song. So I think that is what I would love to kind of like, now that I look back at it and how everything went down, I think the most important piece of all of this, obviously it was Asian artists coming together and doing something, but it was the song. It's the song that connected all three of us. It's the song that connected to all the fans, and people loved the lyrics and the music. So I think that is the key here, and I'm glad that people love it. Like you said, it's a earworm. It's a earworm for me also. I keep listening to it all the time, and that rarely happens. I release music and I shut myself out from that song because I've heard it so many times before the release that after the release I'm like, I'm done. But with Echo, that never happened. It's just been a song that's been on my playlist like 24/7, and I keep listening to it.
True that, because I think over the months, I think after a song has done so well, or like in general, I tend to stop listening to it because I might start hating it, or maybe I might end up in the way where like, I don't want. But it's not one of those songs.
I always pray that my songs don't go extremely viral, because then people don't want to listen to it after a point. Like I remember this is what happened with a lot of songs over the years. There was Collab, then there's Gangnam Style, then there's recently Peaches. I love Peaches. Okay, when it came out, I loved Peaches, but then it just blew out, and I was just hearing it everywhere. I was like, I don't want to hear it again, but I love the song. So like that's my thing. Like I would love for it to get like wildly famous, but not go to a point where people start like wanting to get away from it.
Last couple of days have been very heavy, Armaan, and in a way with Sidharth Shukla's untimely passing. And one of the songs that you had released, Kya Kiya Hai Tune, was for his last work that he had done on that had done so well, and the music video had done so well, the song had done so well, and there was so much support. Something that's so disheartening for the family and friends, obviously, but something you worked as well for the song.
I never got to meet him personally. I wish I could have met him at least once. Kya Kiya Hai Tune is a very special song for me, and I'm glad that it was on Sidharth and in Broken but Beautiful. From what I saw online and the kind of love that the man has online with his fans, Sidharths, it's truly heartbreaking to see someone just pass away. In like, it's so unexpected. I mean, it's it's been hard. This pandemic has been really hard because everyone is losing someone from their family, and I feel like uh, the film industry, the music industry, all of us are a big family online, and I feel like we lost a member from our family. uh, I wish I could have known him better. I wish I could have met him, because those are the things that always play in your mind. You wish you could spend a few moments with that person. You never know when someone's there in the world and someone's not there, and it's very tragic the way it happened. Honestly, I mean, when I got to know about her, I was like, no, this is not true. This can't be happening. How is this possible? And he's such a fit guy, such a healthy person. Um, to see him, get a heart attack and pass away was really crushing. And I can't fathom what his fans must be going through, because I mean, their whole day was all about Sidharth. Every day they used to only talk about him, and you know his pictures or his videos or whatever it was, that they were putting out. And I feel like the fans also become a family. Obviously, his mom is, I don't know what she must be going through. It's really tragic how everything has happened. I pray for his soul to get peace, and wherever he is right now, I hope he's at Sukoon. And he's left a very, very big mark on the industry. He was a testament to the fact that you can come from the outside and become a huge name in the industry. And I think he just rose to fame in such a phenomenal way, through his hard work, through what he's been doing. So uh, my respects to him, condolences to his family and to his fans, Siddharth.
How important has it been to take that mental break that you had taken a couple of months ago? You had put out a statement, and are you doing well now, or has it been a little difficult to overcome the circumstances you've been, because you also had a family member pass away? So it's, although you share so many precious memories of her, and I think that's so nice to like remember her in the best way possible. But mental health is something that everyone is affected this past year, and it's not been easy for anybody. Or like, how are you trying to overcome this time, and how do you take do you take your enough breaks to just be with yourself and heal?
I try my best to. Mental health is not just like in patches. I mean, you might say that, okay, I'm not feeling mentally okay right now, and then tomorrow you might be okay, but then again after 2 days you'll be back in the same spot. So it's a continuous kind of a thing that you need to juggle with, because everything around us is not normal anymore. Life is not the same anymore. So adjusting to that, getting your mind to adjust to that. There are obviously physical aspects as well, where you're not keeping well, your immunity is low, and that affects your mental health also again, because you know just being in this whole cycle of not feeling well, then falling ill, and then trying to recover, and then again finding yourself in that same spot. It's been this whole rigmarole of sorts for all of us, including me. And mental health is something that I would like to stress upon. But I'm glad you asked this question. I'm a big uh, believer that uh, if everything is all right here, everything is all right everywhere. So it's very important to heal the mind, because half of our ailments, everything, all of it begins here. That's what I believe. So you can't tell a person to think positive when the things in his life aren't going in a positive manner. So it's very important for people around. If you are noticing people having mental health issues, please sit down, please have a conversation with them, or please see a therapist. Because it's not, I mean, a lot of people are scared to see a therapist, scared to go to a shrink, but it's very normal. People aren't going through normal things. I mean, it's really a messed up time. So please, if you can and have access to go to a therapist, please go and talk out, let all of that come out. I've The way I've tackled my mental health issues is by talking about whatever I've been going through with my parents, with my loved ones, with my friends. And I think that's very important. A lot of people our age, teenagers, they are going through a lot of issues as well. So I feel like there's this scare that they have. They don't want to overshare. They don't want to share stuff with their parents. They feel like their parents might take them in a wrong way. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing with your parents, at least try sharing with someone who you know would understand your problem, be it your best friend or someone like that. But just let it out. It's important to get it out of your system. And I've been doing that. I've been practicing meditation. I've been trying to calm myself down. I've been trying to vocalize what I'm feeling. A lot of people keep stuff inside their head, their heart. It's important to vocalize it and get it out. Even if you're alone in a room, lock your room, just get it out of your system. Shout, scream, whatever it is, but just get it out. It's not healthy when it's inside. So that's the way I've tackled it. And I don't know if this is a medical way of tackling it, but as a very genuine case of not being in the best of state mentally, this is how I kind of like overcame it. And I'm not saying I've 100% overcome it. There's a lot of like things, layers that I need to peel off as well myself. And a lot of people feel like celebrities have it all easy, but that's not the case at all. It's just even more tougher if it's not as tough.
It's a work in progress, I think.
Yeah, we are all a work in progress. You cannot get all right all together on one day.
That's true. Because the reason I asked is because you do have a lot of young fans, and I think when a celebrity or in general someone who they look up to speak about such topics, I think it does help them to just talk in a way, maybe just not to friends, someone, and in a way it becomes normalized. It's like, yeah, this person is talking. Maybe I should also talk to someone
I'm
else.
ready to talk whenever, always. Baba AM is at your service.
That's very nice to say. Before I wrap up, I just wanted to ask something. Over the years, and you've been what like 2 decades that you've been working in a way. What
Almost, almost.
yeah, right. And you've not even touched 30 yet. So it's kind of amazing. So oh, what has changed the way that now you see the music industry? Because I think the time you started making music or you started doing playback versus now you're making music for yourself,
Yeah.
what has changed over the years?
I think there's a lot that's changed. A focus on non-film music, particularly, has been brought about by the industry in the last few years, which I'm so happy because when I did Armaan, at that point of time, no one did albums, no one did singles.
Mm.
Mine was like an album out of nowhere. People weren't listening to albums at that point of time. But I feel like that trend has come back again now. From the 90s, now it's become a big thing now to do non-film singles, to do albums. And I'm so happy that we are having a music industry finally, which is not just related to Bollywood music or Bollywood films. We're having songs which are independently released. Artists are in the music videos. People know who's the face of the voice. I think that's something that we've been tackling for a very long time in our country. People don't know how their singers look, how their favorite singers look. And finally, that's happening. A lot of singers are featuring in their own music videos. So I see a lot of growth in the industry. And even though there was a rough patch where people, the music that was coming out, recreations and stuff like that, people weren't liking, it was kind of like, messing up the whole fabric of the industry. But I think that was very important because, when something new has to begin, something good has to begin, there has to be a lot of chaos that happens. So I think that was the chaos that was happening in the industry. But now it's going through a rebirth kind of a zone. And in the next few years, I think India is going to have a very, very flourishing music industry and probably even a global music industry. A lot of Indian artists will go global. A lot of Indian songs are already going global. So I'm just super excited about everything that Indian artists and Indian music awaits.
Has it been easier to break into international scene, or has it been very challenging, or to break that stereotype that you are not just a playback singer, but you are so much more than just that?
I think there's nothing as easy in anything, especially when you are competing against the biggest pop stars in the world. You can't say that you've broken in. I think I've just made one step forward for Indian artists who believed that there's a time like this that could come, but I wanted to make it a reality for myself and for all the other Indian artists. And I'm glad that Control, my first song, and my entry into the English pop world kind of like became a sort of a movement. And we've seen a lot of artists after that do so much internationally. And I feel like breaking into a global scenario is not easy, but it's not impossible, because there's heavyweights from the West that are already doing big pop singles. And in order to kind of like break into that market, you have to first make an audience. And I think that's what I'm on. I'm on a mission and a journey to make an audience, a global listening audience. I have a lot of audience globally that listens to my Hindi songs. There's the Indian diaspora worldwide. There are Indians everywhere that listen to my song, but it's to get out of that community and start, gathering listeners from who are non-Indians, who don't usually listen to Bollywood music, who don't usually listen to Indian artists, and get them to listen to my music. I think that is the major goal, which I've seen a lot of change happen via my songs Control, How Many, Next to Me, Echo. I've seen a lot of listeners from different countries come into my listeners on different streaming platforms, and they are exploring artists like us now. So I think like we have taken a step forward. We haven't broken into the global scene yet, but I think it will happen very, very soon. I mean, it could be anyone. It could be me. It could be another artist. But all of us are kind of like in a zone where we are prepped for it. We're primed for it. And Indians are at that stage where now we can take it forward and go global.
Right. I've been told to wrap up. So before that, you, Charlie Puth, and Zed, when?
Me, Charlie Puth, and Zed. I mean, that would be a dream collaboration. I just hope that happens. I know it's a very lofty collaboration to think of, but hopefully I make a mark in the West in such a way that I'm able to get both of these artists together with me on a song.
I hope so. It does happen someday. It's not just that. Or like if in future, one of the times, the EXO thing also happens.
Maybe, I hope. Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, I've always loved EXO, and they've always been on top of my list of favorite K-pop artists. Favorite artists, actually. I just don't want to call them just K-pop artists. I think they're fabulous artists, and I just feel like obviously I think not a lot of Korean artists, have collaborated with the Indian artists. Obviously, Eric and me have changed that, but it's not happened in a big way. So hopefully, I think if things work out the way it should, I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean,
fingers crossed. I hope it's just you, or maybe Chen or Baekhyun, whoever does it, do it. I'm putting this out in the universe.
I'm totally game for it. So I think it's more from their organization.
I was seeing a lot of your recent interviews, and I think it's very Bollywood centric. So I just wanted to know. I hope I cover everything.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to talk about. Like, I mean, you've touched on a lot of topics, so I'm glad.
That's probably because I think I have followed you for a while, so I think that's one of the reasons.
You know me well.
No, I've seen your growth, and I think it's kind of emotional. Like I think you're one of the first celebrities I'd ever met in general. So it like over the years, it kind of I've somehow managed to be in this industry where I talk to celebrities. But I always tell that I've met Armaan when he was 18 and he had released an album, and the way he's booming, he's gonna do so well. By the time he's 30, he's gonna be such a big, huge global star. And I keep telling people that.
And I'm glad we're doing an interview on your birthday.
Thank you. I'm very happy about this. It's kind of like a full circle for me. I met you last on your birthday, and you're meeting me on my birthday.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. All the very best. I'm looking forward to everything you are doing. And
thank you.
Give my regards to Amaal as well.
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
All the very best. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.